Hey, okay, so I don't ever do this. This is my first time, but I've decided to make a short video on something that has happened to me just recently, and from what I hear, it's happening to a lot of other people as well. It's basically a scam that's been going on. That how it works is they call you up, they threaten all this legal stuff, these criminal charges. It's scaring the hell out of people, and they're thinking that it's real because of the terminology that this entity is using. So I've done my homework. For most of you that know who I am as a person, I do look into things and I find out if there's any sort of validity to that. So here's what I'm going to share with you. It's kind of a two-part deal. What I'm going to do is share the initial information, what kind of got presented to me, and then I'm, excuse me, then I'm going to basically let you know what the truth is behind this scam, which there really isn't any of it. But like I said, this has happened to me a few times here, and I've actually played their game slightly just to try to get information on who they are and what's going on so I can help other people. I do know that this has happened, like I said, to a few of my friends and then just some acquaintances, and it has caused a lot of fear. So, with another introduction, sorry about the length, but here we go. I got a call the other day. Actually, I've had a few calls in the last probably month that come from a 904 area code. Most of the time, I just deny it or it goes to my voicemail or whatnot. But what ended up happening is I got a voicemail, and I listened to the voicemail, and I'm going to read to you what it is. I would actually play it for you, but because I'm recording on my phone, I can't do both. Maybe you can, I'm just not smart enough to figure it out. So here's, I'm going to use the intonation that they used in the message as well, so you can kind of get an idea of the tone of voice that they're using. So if this is happening to you, pay attention. I'll hopefully try to help you out. But here's how it went. When I picked up the phone and listened to the voicemail, the first part of the message was cut off, but basically what it said is, to contact my division is 904-580-4245. I repeat, it's 904-580-4245. Don't disregard this message. Return the call. Now, if you don't return the call, and I don't hear from you or your attorney either, the only thing I can do is wish you good luck as the situation completely unfolds on you. Goodbye and best of luck. The gentleman that left the message speaks in a heavy Indian accent. You can understand him, but you can definitely tell he does have an accent. So I decided one day after getting a few of these calls to figure out what was going on. So I called the number 904-580-4245. And what I ended up getting was a person answering the phone, which sounded like they were calling from a call center. They also spoke with Indian accents, and I asked them what the call is in regards to. And immediately they knew my name, they knew the phone I was calling from, and they verified that information with me and told me that I was being charged, or not charged, but I was being well, yes, I guess charged would be the term. I was being charged with three federal counts. One of them was federal felony check fraud, violation of federal bank regulations, and theft by deception. They informed me that this was a very serious matter, and then what was going to be happening is I would be getting the Minnesota Attorney General was going to be delivering a summons to appear in federal court as well as a subpoena for various documents, and this was going to happen by tomorrow. Now, when this phone call was placed, it was a Thursday. I believe it was last Thursday. So when they referred to tomorrow, it was meaning Friday of last week. When I asked what this was in regards to, the woman that I was speaking to had told me it was because I was failing to pay an unsecured debt in the amount of 5,500 and some odd dollars. I didn't really care because I knew this was all bullshit to begin with. Excuse the language. So I asked who they are. Are they a debt collection? And she informed that they are a law office. Now, my first red flag was if you're calling from a law office, you don't have a call center. And maybe in some elements you do, but I could hear voices in the background and phones ringing and that sort of thing, so it really didn't make much sense. So I decided to play the game. I wanted to find out as much about this as possible. So I asked who's in charge. and the woman on the phone informed me that it was the lead attorney, Steve L. Knox, Knox. I asked them who they are and where they're from. They told me that they were from the NCA, which is the National Credit Agency. And I asked them where they were located, and she says that she's not privy to release that information to me, that that's private information. Again, very strange. So what ended up happening, I asked to talk to the Steve Knox. And Steve came on the phone, and he was very rude, and I could tell immediately that he was the voice who had left me the voicemail. That was very threatening and harassing. So I spoke to Steve. I asked him what the deal was, and he got all in my case. He started to yell at me. He was very belligerent in telling me that he knows the game that I'm playing, and if I would have done the right thing from the beginning, this would never have happened, and now I have to deal with the consequences. And this conversation went back and forth and on and on. One thing I asked him, I said, "You are a licensed attorney, aren't you, Steve?" He says, "Yes, I am." And originally I just knew him as Steve Knox. And I said, "Steve, what is your middle initial?" And he told me that that's personal information. Lie. Anytime you have an attorney, they always put in their middle initial. So if you ask an attorney what their middle initial is, they should have no problem disclosing that to you because they're a licensed attorney. What do they have to hide? It's the middle initial. Secondly, I asked him if he was a licensed attorney, what his attorney ID number was. He said that's private information as well. And what I'm trying to do is play games to get around what the real issue is here. At which point, I raised my voice to him and he cut me off. Then I called back. This was over my lunch period. I called this number probably 4 or 5 times trying to talk to Steve Knox, and what ended up happening is they continuously hung up on me. Okay, so that's kind of the gist of the initial information. What I ended up doing is one of the times I called back, I realized that obviously this is a scam. So I wanted to play a little bit with them. So I called back and talked to a person. I asked them if they were aware of the scam or if they were just led to believe this was a legitimate business, and she hung up on me. I did this a few times to try to get information. I called one person, a male that spoke, and I asked him if I could get the address, and he says that is something that is private and they don't disclose that. And I ended up telling him that I was very scared, that I was going to go to jail, and I needed to make sure that I paid them this $5,000 and some odd cents so that they could drop the charges. And I needed to know where to send the check to because it was a payday, and I could send the check out to them and that sort of thing. He told me to hold one moment, and he came back and told me that they are located at 10401 Deerwood Park Boulevard in Jacksonville, Florida, zip code 52256. He told me that I can just go ahead and mail the check there. Attention, Steve Knox. Honestly, these guys are complete idiots. So I decided to dig, and I found out that, first of all, there is no National Credit Agency. It doesn't exist. There's consumer this and credit collections and collection resource. There is no such thing as the NCA or the National Credit Agency. Further, 10401 Deerwood Park Boulevard in Jacksonville, Florida is a vacant building. It's actually on the market right now for lease for a company to take over and move in there. So things just kind of, things kind of became humorous at this point, and I decided that I just wanted to see how far this would go. I ended up calling back a couple days later. I think this was probably Monday or Tuesday of this week, and played stupid, asked for Steve Knox again. He came on the phone. He doesn't remember who I was, but I told him, I said, I need to get some further information because I don't want to go to jail for this stuff. And his tone changed. He seemed pleasant, sort of. And what he ended up telling me is he looked up my account, and then he became aggressive again. He said that they have left me over 13 emails, giving me more than enough opportunity to do the right thing. And I have ignored every one of them. That's his quote. So what I did is I decided to go into this email account. It was a Yahoo account that I don't even use anymore. I haven't used for the longest time. And this is the printout of the Yahoo account. I don't know if you can see that. Probably not. The point is, there are no emails. Check out the spam folder. Spam folder is empty. Did it get put in the trash? Trash folder is empty. They didn't send emails. It's bullshit. And this particular email account was set up for strictly correspondence between me and my children's mother regarding parenting time and custody and that sort of thing. This was not an email that was made public or disclosed to anybody. This was specifically ordered to be private. So why he even has that is beyond me, and why that they said they've sent all these emails is bullshit. I haven't accessed that. I think the last date on here was March 8th of 15. So that can go in the garbage. Also, furthermore, this law firm at Deerwood Park Boulevard is listed as a call center. So they're not a law firm. They're a call center. Another bullshit scam. Secondly, he threatened that he knows my place of employment, and if necessary, they will show up there. They, meaning the county attorney's office, will show up at my place of employment and serve me and have me arrested. Their current place of employment listed is Woodcraft Industries. Now, those of you who know me know I worked at Woodcraft prior to 2013. I have since worked at other jobs, went back to school, got a degree, and am working in a law office. So there's another one. And that they have my current address, and they will stop at no means to get me this documentation so that I can be served for what I've done. My current address was listed at 505 7th Street South in Sartell. Again, that's true, I live there, but I lived there prior to 2013. I haven't lived there for almost 4 years. It's just, like I said, right now, initially, they were very real. They come off as very real. They come off as knowing what they're talking about, how they're going to get you. This is your screw up because you did not pay an unsecured debt that you forgot about, and now they're coming after you. It's a bunch of crap, and they're doing this to scare people. And the really sick thing that pisses me off is there are people out there who have tried to find out how to send these scumbag money because they don't want to go to jail. And I know some of you may be rolling your eyes that I did this, but I'm a kind of person that I know what it's like to be bullied. I know what it's like to have, being scared and being threatened and that sort of thing. And I don't want it to happen to anyone else. I want to try to help people. I don't know how many people this is happening to. I have no idea. I just know that, including myself, I'm one of 5 in this St. Cloud area. And if I'm one of 5 in a St. Cloud area, God knows where they're getting to and how many people they're affecting. So if this one little video will help somebody recognize the signs and avoid these people, or, help them basically fold on themselves, would be awesome. Just a couple more last minute things for you of the truth about this scam. Excuse me, I got a sore throat. If you guys were to type in that number, 904-580-4245, or there's another one here, 904-596-2590 into Google, you're going to get warnings and pages that come up with unsafe number listings. I just know that there's over 22 complaints filed in Minnesota alone on this entity and this phone number. They are listed on the USA phone scam list. Which is, once I found this out, then that's when I called back and asked them if they're aware of the scam, and apparently they don't like that. But the problem is that when they call you, you can't pinpoint their location because they're bouncing all over towers. I don't know what they're using, but and the other thing is, just to verify, I knew this, but I called the county attorney, or excuse me, the attorney general. I called the attorney general's office yesterday afternoon, and they have no criminal jurisdiction, at least in Minnesota. So for them to tell you, or to tell me, that the attorney general is going to come serve me with summons and all this legal document and arrest me, they don't even know what they're talking about. I don't even think this guy is an attorney. I think he's just a guy who thinks he knows what he's doing, and he's going to try to scare people into getting their money for no reason. So if you do get a call from these guys, and they start talking about legal stuff and attorney general, whoever they say is going to be coming after them or coming after you, excuse me, to serve you, call that person. Ask them if there's any truth to it. The attorney general I spoke to, one of the representatives there, told me that what I should do in this case is call them up, let them know what's going on, and then the attorney general has a fraud report form. Okay, you can find it on their website. Their website, if you want to write it down, is HTTP, the whole spiel in the beginning. It is no www, but it goes right into mars.courts.state.mn.us. It's easy to find the form, print it out, sign it, and send it in. The more people we can, do that form that's having these people call them, the better off we're going to be to stop them. The other thing is, last couple items here that I'm just kind of randomly throwing at you. If they call in and do all this stuff, ask them who their client is. They won't tell you because it's bullshit. Any opposing counsel who calls an individual or an individual's attorney, if there's allegations against you, they're criminal, they're going to let you know, well, who's filing them. And that's not a private knowledge. That's, there's no reason to not disclose that. So they kept telling me that is personal information. It's not personal information. Sorry, my dog is annoying. This Steve Knox, he's extremely arrogant. He's aggressive. He's an absolute asshole. And I've spoken to him 6 or 7 times. He doesn't like me, and I'm okay with that. Last time I called him, he started swearing at me, calling me names, very vulgar names. He was very belligerent. He was yelling at me through the phone. I told him to calm down and to stop yelling, and he told me to something off, and then he hung up on me. So, currently, I have blocked their numbers on my phone, and I have notified them that if I receive any more calls, I will be filing legitimate legal action on their corporation, whatever they decide to call it tomorrow or the next day. So at any rate, if you guys want, if anyone has been experiencing this, you can email the county attorney. I keep saying county attorney, I apologize. Email the attorney general at attorneyregistration@courts.state.mn.us. They're right downtown St. Paul. Otherwise, Google. You can find anything on Google. But if you guys have any questions, honestly, I am here to help. If this does not pertain to you, you've never even heard of this before, that's awesome. Good for you. And I hope you don't, because, for the people that don't understand what's going on with this stuff and don't see the signs, it is really scary. These guys come off extremely legitimate. And even for a moment at the very beginning, I had to think to myself, okay, what the hell did I do? But as soon as I got through on the phone, it was immediately clear to me what's going on. So if you guys have had this happen or know somebody who has, and you need help or whatever, let me know. I'm putting this on YouTube, so if you're watching this on YouTube, comment below. I'll get the message and I'll see what I can do to help you. And this is just not just for Minnesota. I don't know where these guys are calling. I don't know if it's nationwide or if it's just Minnesota, or if me and the 4 or 5 other people are just the lucky ones. But at any rate, if anybody's having this issue or knows somebody that is, let me know. Let me see if I can help you out. Okay, comment below. If it's Facebook, obviously comment below if you feel inclined to share this because you think it might help somebody out, or whatever. I don't care. If only one person watches this, I don't care. I'm making this to help other people out. So I just hope that maybe there is somebody out there that I'm able to help, and that's all I'm doing this for. And if it's a waste of time, then that's a good thing, I guess, because then it's not happening to people. So at any rate, thanks for watching. I know this was kind of lengthy, and I appreciate it a lot, guys. And just for anyone's questioning, I'm completely fine. All these, the check fraud and the violation of regulations, the theft by deception, it's all bullshit. Not one of them is true. I have nothing but a clear record. So thanks for watching.